notoriously difficult movement for a lot of athletes because number one, it requires an immense amount of core strength. That's number one. It's a prerequisite. We're not going to work any miracles today if we don't have a base level of strength there. Number two is going to be the coordination involved in being able to connect the toes to bar back to back. So number one, do you have the core strength to be able to bring your feet from the hang position all the way to the top of the bar for a few repetitions? From there, if we know we have that base level down, then we know the issue is the connectivity or the lack thereof. And so being able to learn how to kip, K-I-P, kip effectively is going to be the difference between those that do this movement really, really well or really, really bad. So let's get started. With the kip, what we're trying to do is bring our chest forward and chest backwards behind the bar. If we look at the post, we can see that I'm bringing my chest all the way forward, then all the way back behind the bar. I do this coordinated. The cue here is lats. When we're bringing ourselves behind the bar, we are doing that solely with our lats. We need to bring our shoulders back behind the bar so that we can draw our feet up to that toes to bar position. If you imagine it, there's almost this hanging crunch or hanging sit-up going on there. My chest comes back forward, my lats bring me back. I actively draw my chest open to bring me forward, and I use my lats to bring me back. So this is usually the issue with the most athletes is they can't just coordinate the kip. So without trying to do the toes to bar or bring your legs up at all, you are only going to try to kip for 10 reps in a row with as much control and range of motion that you can bring yourself forward and back without ever bending your elbows. That's number one. From there, what we need to start doing is getting into that crunch. We do this with something we call a knee punch. The knee punch is super effective in getting the athletes to understand the timing that's involved here, that no moment can we delay that feet to stay in the air for too long. You have to kick those knees up and bring them right back down. Because remember, the speed of the kip is not changing. There's a speed of the kip that moves you forward and back multiple times, and you cannot lose that tempo. So you are only going to kick and draw those feet back down as allows with the tempo of your kip, if that makes sense. Now, as you get better, the degree of the kip, or the degree of the kick of you bringing your feet up are solely going to depend on your ability to keep the tempo of the kip, the K-I-P. So those two things are super important. When we bring the toes to bar, the range of motion from knees to elbow to toes to bar is really that much great. The limiting factor here is hamstrings. Those mobile athletes that have these nice, loose, limber hamstrings are going to be able to make that flick really well. And those that are tight, that are notoriously tight in their hamstrings, are going to have much difficulty here, even with those few extra inches from knees to elbow to toes to bar. So hopefully that's helped. Remember, we're looking for kipping ourselves forward and back multiple times, being able to draw those knees up and right back down into multiple repetitions. As you get better with this, you're going to try to flick that toe to bar quickly and bring it right back down. If you have any questions, please comment below, and don't forget to subscribe. See you soon.